Welcome back. Abuja, the nation's capital, is surrounded by mountains, and most of them have become a source of income for some residents who engage in breaking the rocks for trade. Well, this is illegal, and the Federal Capital Territory Authority wants to amend the Abuja Environmental Protection Board Act of 1997 to mete out more stringent sanctions for defaulters. FCT in Focus this week takes a look at rocks in the FCT. Take a listen. Located at the center of the country, Abuja can be described as a very beautiful city. It's known for its wonderful road network, its parks and gardens, and most notably for the surrounding mountains. Built in the 1980s, the city replaced Lagos State as the capital of Nigeria in December 1991. Abuja is a beautiful city, no doubt, even at night. It is a city known for its geographically rocky landscape. A popular rock in the city is the Aso Rock, which many mistake for the presidential villa, but is actually a 1,300 feet monolith. This rock at Katampe is easily accessible, and several people use it as a hangout spot and also get a good view of the beautiful city. And for others, it's a worship site. However, the rocks are being broken into small pieces and sold for different purposes, albeit illegally. The stone breakers, as they call themselves, have their phone number inscribed on the rocks, even when they are aware that they run the risk of being arrested for breaking the law. The Director of Information at the Ministry of Federal Capital Territory explains that the relevant authorities are doing all they can to deter the stone breakers.
This act is AEPB Act 10 of 1997 that regulates the activities of miners and quarry business. The act has a section 24, subsection 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Anyone who is in breach of that, especially based on the question you just asked me now, that was FCTA doing, especially after this ban, if you do not seek approval and you go ahead and you do that, we can take you on that violation of that act. Once you are arrested, you will face a magistrate court. But unfortunately, the penalty is so minimal because the act itself is very old. It's of 1997. You can imagine 1997 is almost about 20 years ago. Yeah. So the National Assembly, we have been putting up a fight for the National Assembly to review that act. And luckily for FCTA, the bill has just been signed. So they are reviewing the act. We cannot take you to magistrate court, and magistrate court will give you a sanction of 5,000 naira. Anybody can just throw 5,000 naira at you and go ahead and do what they want to do. And that will impact on the environment. So before you can do any quarry activity, you have to come to us. You will tell us what you want to do. We will do environmental impact assessment, EIA, to ensure that whatever activity you are doing will not affect the environment. Because if you go there and you degrade the environment and you leave, the impact will come. You recall what happened when there was this seismic activity and we had to do something, or else there will be a major disaster. We don't want that major disaster in Abuja. That is why anybody who wants to do any activity, be it rock blasting, borehole drilling, sand drilling, even sand too can cause it. You have to come to our office, get an approval, and before the approval is done, we will do environmental impact assessment. And when that is clear that there won't be any impact on the environment, then we do that quarry activity and then do a decommissioning. You know what? When you do a decommissioning, you leave the environment the way you met it.
This is the city gate, the entry point into the city center from the airport. Right next to it is the National Stadium and two gigantic rocks. a popular location for hikers. This is Papi, an entire suburb built on hills and mountains. In 2018, the nation experienced a ground shaking which investigations later revealed was a tremor caused by mining activities and rock blasting, prompting the authorities to put a ban on those activities except on permission from the relevant authorities. The FCTA Director of Information insists that the ban is still in place.
If you go to Social Development Secretariat, there's a Department of Tourism. We have tourists who come to Nigeria, especially to FCT, and want to, see what tourism potentials there are in FCT. We have people who, especially during the Abuja Carnival, we have foreign tourists that come, and they make provision for them to be taken around FCT. Even some Nigerians who come to FCT, maybe for conferences or something, they want, because I recall the military course 40 something came around, sometime early this year, and one of the side activity we planned for them was to take them around on tourism activity. They went down to the rocks, they paid courtesy to the traditional rulers and all. To avoid any disaster in Abuja, we decided that before you do any of such, because sometimes it may be necessary for you to have all this mining activity, especially for sand or for rock, to create infrastructure. Before you do that, you must come and to the FCTA and get approval for such.
Apart from the mining potentials of the rocks, the FCT authorities regard them as a tourist attraction, but that can only be possible if these rocks are protected.